The exhibition I'm presenting is called The Starry Messenger, which is a name that Galileo gave for a set of writing he made about his discoveries through the telescope that he invented. The telescope being something that he presented first here in Venice. And the exhibition looks at the microscopic and the astronomic, and how, you know, the universe is this mixture of giant spaces in between things, and then really close together clusters of small bits, and how we are all flecks among these big chunks and big flecks floating around in space. I looked at some photographs of this building, and I saw these Terrazzo tiles, which is also something that first appeared in Venice. Terrazzo floors are a way of using remnants of other building materials to create a floor. Terrazzo seems to me to be like a nice kind of representation of this kind of fragmented universe that we live in. You know, it's when you look at terrazzo floor, you're looking at billions of different possibilities. You know, all these little stones and chips and bits of glass, and bits of them that have got, you know, been damaged over the years. Yeah, it's often said that you should start at your feet if you're a writer. You know, that's, you should begin there. And I think literally I did that with this work. The terrazzo theme has been magnified in the exhibition, so you see giant versions of terrazzo where you feel like a little insect crawling in between the stones. I think I'm a little bit obsessed with scale. Being a tall person growing up in a place where all the houses have doorways that are about this height. I'm fascinated by looking at average-sized people in oversized situations, and vice versa. In this work there's an observatory, and you can hear a grown man crying inside, which of course we all know is the saddest of all things. As a middle-aged man crying, there's nothing sad. I have, since I was a kid, an interest in, you know, the illusion of sound coming from the inside of objects. And me and my brother used to hide speakers in the garden and taunt children from next door with, you know, strange voices and so on. So most of the rooms have an element of this, where there is sound hidden playing. And I think in a city like this, where you're constantly walking down alleyways and hearing half conversations through windows, it's that snatches of sound, but in a place where scale changes all the time. On the screen in front of the bleachers there is a film that I've made in collaboration with Ewan and Casey, who are video makers from Cardiff. They make music videos. And that is a kind of weird, kind of psychedelic, animated, disjointed story about a dentist made out of mosaic. And it's a bit of a trip kind of film. In a large city hall, mosaics line the hallways. There are 20 in total, but we will be concentrating on one. Then you pick up a little text that I've written about an overweight guy who loves perfume. You can read that later in the hotel or wherever in the bar. And the final room we enter is the Janitors Room, which I'm sharing with the janitor for the next 6 months. And inside there we have a sound installation. So there's a kind of kitchen orchestra playing inside, you know, like when pots and pans are played to make a tune. And then you leave, you go. reading my libretto. It's strange because I come from a country where singing and poetry and rugby are the things. You know, visual arts doesn't really have a big chunk of the pie over there. My neighbour keeps giving me the thumbs up from the other side of the stream, and that means a lot, you know.